People leave, people come, people go. There's some vacated target shares available in a lot of new offenses in the NFL this year. A lot of players have been changed, trades, free agency, all that fun stuff. So we got a lot to talk about. We got 3 guys in this video where there's a lot of targets up for grabs, and really there's no one else there besides them to come pick up the slack. First name is going to be a Seattle Seahawk that's going high on draft board. Name number 1. Who else do we think it's going to be but Jackson Smith and Jigba? JSN actually out-target shared more targets in 2024 than DK Metcalf, than Tyler Lockett. Now, I was actually a little bit surprised by that because when I think of DK Metcalf, I'm like, all right, big body, high volume type guy. No, Metcalf was 21%, JSN was 24%. Now, Lockett was obviously in a down year. Who knows how he's going to be in Tennessee, where he's going. Obviously, Metcalf's with the Steelers now, but Lockett had a respectable-ish 13% target share. So 13%, 21%, that's 34% of the target share has been vacated from this offense. But wait, there's more. Every year, this guy, Noah Fant. Noah Fant has another 14.5% gone. So now we're going to be looking at about, do the math real quick, it's going to be almost 50% of the target share has been vacated. JSN was at 24%. Now, I'm not saying JSN is going to have a 55% target share. Let's be realistic. Let's look at what some of the elite wide receivers in the league have commanded. Jamar Chase has had, in his breakout 2024 season, about 27%. But a really good indicator, I think, and thinking of like what the ceiling can be like, is A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, in the last couple of years, man, his target share has been unreal. But, I mean, in reality, the Eagles are a low passing volume offense in the last couple of years. So, A.J. Brown with 34% target share. That's really what the ceiling is for a wide receiver. So, JSN, I wouldn't be surprised if we see JSN at around, above, maybe a little bit below 30% target share. So, what does that mean? Looking at what he did in 2024, 14.9 points per game average. He was a solid wide receiver option. That's basically wide receiver 2 type production. What did he do in 2023, though? In 2023, JSN was dust. So that's actually not a bad thing because we saw him take a massive step forward year 1 to year 2. Can we expect a year 3, another kind of breakout? New quarterback. Did we mention that? Guess who's gone? Mr. Geno Smith is gone. He's headed to Las Vegas. You got Scam Darnold coming in. Now, Scam Darnold was able to support good wide receiver play in Minnesota last season, but that was with the QB whisperer, Kevin O'Connell, kind of breathing down his back. So with JSN, it's kind of a bunch of unknowns. Sam Darnold did have a pretty good touchdown rate, passing touchdown rate. Sam Darnold was actually the QB9. Not many people are aware of that. Now, where is JSN actually going off on draft boards right now in a redraft league? He's pretty highly valued. That's where you kind of lose me, right? He's getting drafted at the end of round 3. So his ADP is 34. But I don't mind it because we know that there's nobody there to compete with targets. Elijah Arroyo, AJ Barner, they bring in Cooper Kupp. Let's not forget that. So we're subtracting Metcalf. I just said Metcalf twice. We're subtracting Lockett and we're subtracting Noah Fant. They bring in Arroyo, and Cooper Kupp had a 25% target share as well, right? So let's not act like Kupp is dust. There's a chance that Kupp kind of collects a lot of that target share that was vacated as well. So both of these guys are actually solid options in my mind. I like JSN more because he's going into year 3. Cooper Kupp is on the back end of his career. And the thing about Cooper Kupp is there's more injury risk there in my eyes. We've seen Kupp miss a lot of games in the last several years. So Kupp, it's a bit scarier. Now you are getting a discount with Kupp, but both these guys in Seattle poised to fill a lot of vacated targets. The next one we're going to do is a bit of a stretch, and it's really Omarion Hampton. Omarion Hampton does have a bit of a receiving profile, so he will be involved in the receiving game. Their RB3 in Los Angeles is Kamani Vidal, who I know a lot of people were excited about. This guy is dust. Like, there's a chance Vidal doesn't make the team. There's a chance that Raheem Sanders, the undrafted running back, makes the team over him. Maybe they keep both. But Kamani Vidal, you see, it's dusty, right? It's dusty. He wasn't really that involved. They bring in Najee Harris as well. Now, Najee Harris, he did actually have a 9% target share last year. The thing is, he averaged 1 reception per game. That's not exactly thrilling numbers, right? So I'm not going to say that Najee Harris profiles out as some insane receiving back. I think Hampton's going to be the guy that profiles out to catch some more passes. Who's vacating? They bring in, you have Quentin Johnston going into year 3. Quentin Johnston, the big Q, had a nice breakout. They bring in Trey Harris. Trey Harris is obviously going to increase the amount of, he's going to demand some target share. You got Ladd, and Ladd is only going to get better. The main guy that I'm kind of saying left this offense is really the running backs. J.K. Dobbins, gone. Gus Edwards, gone. J.K. Dobbins had a 10% target share. Gus Edwards had a 5% target share. So between the two of these guys, that's about 4 vacated targets per game. And it's got to go to some of the running backs. Najee, already injured, not great at receiving. You got not really any running back 3. Like, there's no profiled out third down running back. I think Hampton is going to be able to have good receiving upside this year with the Los Angeles Chargers. They profile out to be a run-first offense, but I think when they drop back, there's going to be a good amount of checkdowns, and those vacated checkdowns will be going Hampton's way. The final people we need to talk about, and this is maybe less exciting because it's a bad offense. You got Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy profiles out to be a beneficiary of somebody leaving. Now, who left the Browns? The Browns' backup tight end did leave, so maybe he vacates some target. Jordan Akins, whatever his name is, I don't even know. But you got Elijah Moore leaving. Now, Elijah Moore, I get it. He's dusty. Oh, my God, this guy stinks. Listen, I agree, although I am taking him in round 18 of best ball to stack with Josh Allen, so maybe I'm crazy. Obviously, I prefer Josh Palmer in that scenario. But Elijah Moore, surprisingly, had a 16% target share in 2024. Kind of wild, kind of unbelievable, but guess what? Believe it. 16% target share. So Elijah Moore vacates those targets. Maybe they go Fannon's way. I'm going to even say that, like, Cedric Tillman could be a beneficiary of this, and Njoku could be a beneficiary of this. And Njoku was banged up. Tillman was banged up. So I get that Jeudy already kind of had extra target share built into this 23%. It was like an ideal situation. And who knows how much the Browns are even going to pass it. If Flacco's there, they'll probably pass it a lot. But when you have these bum rookies in, they'll probably be a run-first offense, but their RB pick is in jail. So it's kind of a really confusing situation to break this down. I really think it boils down to Elijah Moore, 16% will be gone. I'm not going to say what if Cedric Tillman misses time. What if Cedric Tillman accumulates some of it? I get it. What if Njoku misses time? I'm not going to project any injuries into this. I'm just going to say that there is more vacated targets up for grabs in this Browns offense. Who's going to be the quarterback? What's the passing rate going to be like? That's a whole different story. I do like Jerry Jeudy, though, especially with his discount you're getting. If we look at wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy is currently going off, I think it's the end of round 6 or end of round 5. ADP of 60. So Jerry Jeudy's going around George Pickens, Rome Odunze. It's actually a really good tier of wide receivers. I don't want to compare him who he's going around, but I'm just going to say that Jerry Jeudy, I mean, you're getting he's not, do we know if he's an alpha? He had a really good year with 14 points per game. Not really a cemented alpha, but we know he's the wide receiver 1 in the Browns offense. Now, Browns offense, not exciting. We already talked about that. But a wide receiver 1 who's going to potentially have more targets in 2025, getting him at ADP of 60, not too shabby, especially if you're falling behind at the wide receiver position. Smash the like and subscribe button. Those are vacated targets. Appreciate every single one of y'all watching, man. We're bringing the best fantasy content all year long. Signing off.